Hello, my badass boys and badass babes. It's your favorite bad girl of the Black Hills, Virgo the Vixen. As always, like, subscribe buttons, hit them, smash them, make me happy. All right, today, this is kind of a girl talk sort of video, so I just want to say, today we're going to be talking about the concept you have to kiss a few frogs before you find Prince Charming. That's the video I would like to do. Today's video is during my dating days back in the 90s, okay? Yes, the 1990s, not the 1890s, some of you smart asses out there are saying. But anyways, back in the 1990s, I was doing a lot of dating after my husband's accidental death. Again, I was acquitted. So, I was having a few dates. And today, I'm going to talk about the time where, like I said, today's premise is, I have to kiss a few frogs to meet Prince Charming. No one ever told me about Prince Charming being the frog, okay? And I'll explain that in a moment, all right? So I'm at the bar, I'm sitting down, I'm looking good, having a drink. In walks this guy, all right? And for the record, we'll just call him Mr. Vane, because at the end of the story, you'll understand why I call him Mr. Vane. Mr. Vane, he checks himself in a couple reflective surfaces before he sits down with me. Some of you can see where this is going, but don't jump ahead. There's going to be a couple plot twists you didn't see. So I'm thinking, in the back of my mind, nothing much. That should have been my first red flag. When a guy checks himself out in reflective surfaces before he sits down, that should be a red flag. But hey, I was enjoying some cocktails. He was cute. I was horny. He looked available. So what can I say? There was romance. Anyways, he's checking himself out, making sure he looks good. He gets to the bar, notices me, he buys me a couple drinks, and you know what the best part is? He was actually intelligent. He could carry on an intelligent conversation without using the words maybe, and, or maybe, let's see, or what's the other one? Maybe, and, how about it, babe? He kind of got rid of those phrases, actually form coherent sentences. Well, guess what? Here, I think I'm having Prince Charming over here. All right, like I said, Prince Charming. I would have been happier with the frog, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Don't worry, we're getting to that part of the equation. Anyways, he takes me home, and his car is, oh my God, he's got a fancy Porsche. I'm thinking, I'm hooking up with a rich guy, and you know what? He was rich. Big 2-story house, pool. I'm thinking, cha-ching, Vixen is scoring. All right, so we make our way up to the bedroom. And please keep in mind, I've had more than 2 drinks. I'm not going to say how much that night because I can't remember. That was in the 1990s. But let's just say I was feeling kind of good that night. Maybe I drank a little bit more than I should, but that's besides the point. Anyways, let's refocus. So we're heading up to his bedroom. There's a picture of himself on the door to his bedroom. It's like he needed everyone to know just how cut and how good he was. And I have to admit, I wasn't thinking anything. That should have been a red flag. A full-length picture of himself on his bedroom door. And I'm thinking, hey, this is just a preview of things to come. If I was sober, that would have been a major red flag. But it's like, damn, I'm getting that tonight? Oh, hell yes. That's what I was thinking. I should have been not so drunk. I would have noticed the little subtleties. So we make our way to the bed. All right. So I'm not going to get X-rated, but let's just say we're starting to have fun. All right. And I look up at his ceiling. All right. Mr. Vane has a gigantic mirror above his bed. All right. Now you're starting to see where the frog portion of the equation comes in. Here is this gigantic mirror. I'm looking at myself. And above the mirror, there is I was intoxicated, but I could still read. There was, or should I say, when I woke up, I found what it said. There is a plaque that had these words right above the mirror, and the word says, "Enjoy the ride." How arrogant of a man must you be, first of all, to have a mirror, and then this. All right, so like I said, I'm not going to get X-rayed, but we're having our fun. And you know what? It's a little hard, but I noticed there was something on his back. And I'm noticing this because There's something on his back. There's some sort of tattoo. Because I could see it in the mirror. And like I said, I was a little inebriated. I'll be the first to admit, and I couldn't see what it was. So we have our fun, okay? The next morning, when I wake up, all right, this is what I wake up to. Mr. Vane is looking at himself in the mirror. And this is what he's saying. Was it good for you? I know it was good for me. You sure it was good for you? Because I was great last night. You were great last night. Oh, yeah, I was great last night. We were good. You know who's the best? We're the best. I am not kidding you. He is having a conversation with himself with the reflection in the mirror above his bed. And so I pretend to be like I'm asleep. I'm not hearing this because I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, at least the frog would have had the decency to roll out of bed and not do this. So I noticed something on his back. Okay, I am wide awake. I am completely sober as a priest in church. Depends on which priest and which church. Don't ask me how I know that one. Long story on that one. Different video. Anyways, I am focusing. What do I see on his back? There is a tattoo of a picture of him, a full picture of himself on his back. So here last night, I was looking into the mirror, looking at myself, and I'm seeing this tattoo in the mirror looking at me. Wow, this is a new level of creep. And if that wasn't bad enough, then I'm sober enough to read the words, enjoy the ride. All right. I don't know what to think at this point. I mean, the sex, was it good? Yes. But this scenario just got a whole lot creepier because at this point, now I'm starting to add up all the signs. The fact that he was checking himself in the mirror, the full-length poster, the mirror above his bed, the tattoo on his back. This guy is the definition of Mr. Vanity, Mr. Vain. And it's like, okay, at this point, it is time for me to get out. So I grab my clothes and I get the hell out of there. I don't care if I have to do the walk of shame all the way back home, which I did. And that one, I can say is the walk of shame because I wasn't too proud of myself. But at the same time, I got to tell you, he had some really nice vases. And I would like to show you them, but for some odd reason, he accused me of stealing some stuff, and I don't want to be accused of, theft. And there's no way to prove it. So, anyways, let's wrap up today's video. First of all, ladies, we've all had our moments where you've had to kiss a few frogs to meet Prince Charming. But when you do meet Prince Charming, make sure he's not a frog in disguise. That's the first lesson. Lesson number 2, pay attention to the subtle details. If the guy is checking himself on every reflective surfaces before he comes over to you, he's more worried about himself than he is about you. Third, if you go to someone's house and they have pictures of themselves everywhere, just get out, just play it safe, don't hang around. And I guess the last thing is, expensive vases aren't that hard, or should I say, that heavy to carry, and they make wonderful home decor. Don't ask how I know. Anyways, my badass boys and badass babes, I guess and the life lesson is, make sure you stay sober enough to recognize your environment. So bottom line, that's today's life lesson. Who's your vixen and bye-bye.